Hey there everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name's Chris. This is Horse Racing Manager. This is pre-early access. This is build 0.5.2. And we will be going through a few things about the game, but excuse me, I'm still not feeling well. I've still got a really bad cough, a chest infection, a sinus infection, a migraine, a loose tooth, because I coughed as I was kind of getting up and fell forward into a wall, so one of my front teeth is a little loose, and it kind of hurts. So, I'm a mess. This game isn't. It is crashing. I will give it that. It is crashing. And it does seem to be some issues here, but hey, that's just part and parcel of the early access stuff. So, you can sort out a lot of different things and look at a lot of different things. But I'm just going around and messing about and seeing what's able to be done and whatnot. So, yeah, there's a lot to this game. There's a lot of information, there's a lot of depth, there's a lot to unlock. Thankfully, there's a lot that you can automate. You can automate the training. You can automate breeding. You can automate the hiring and firing of staff. You can automate funding strategy, which is basically loans and sponsorship. I think that may come into play later on. Buying and selling horses, race registration, constructing new facilities, and scouting levels. So, yeah, you can do a lot. We look at the localization, there's a bunch of things. I've changed some of these around. You can choose different things here. So, we can apply a Prince theme. A little too bright. A little cyberpunky. Mint is obscenely bright, but maybe that's your kind of thing. Red wine. That's not bad. I don't love it. I love blues and purples. And I do think a midnight sits quite nice for me. Um, it could definitely be something that I would want to kind of change a little bit, but you can see just how many options are here for different colors and whatnot. This is the level of detail they've gone into. Kind of like the background being more blue. But this, I think, is a really nice one. In the purple. So it's kind of what I think I might go for. I mean, that's really nice too. Ouch, ouch, ouch. No, ouch. Let me go. Uh, Neo Noir. It's not bad. It's not bad. And to be fair, the default's not bad either. Yeah, that works for me. The interface, you can change the font size. I've put it up to 18. There are some graphical bugs with that, but at least I can read things a little better. They are scaling the UI. There's definitely some graphical things that I feel they're working on, including scalability and whatnot, being able to port it to different systems and make everything work, and maybe a windowed mode and etc. I definitely think some things are in the works. And like I say, we're not even in early access yet. This is a pre-access build given to me, as I say, by, I believe, the project manager, Andy, the head of project. But it is, a small development company, I think 6 people from Finland, who basically are the designers and programmers, whatnot, of this game, Sheep Meadow Road Games. And yeah, they've got an artist in, they've got some sounds in, and they've also got an auctioneer voiceover by Troy Holden, which is actually kind of fun. So you can see here the people in the mix. So I think basically it's going to be these, right? It's going to be a couple of the interns, And then John and Alex here with Samu and Hiane, who I think are basically the core 6, if I had to guess. Or maybe it's just the 6 and the interns aren't included in really the 6. I don't know. But yeah, very small company indie game trying to make the most in-depth and realistic horse racing management simulation game on the market, and they don't think that there's anything out there quite like this. And I've got to agree with them. Like, I've got to agree with them. I really don't think there is either. I really don't think there is either. So, yeah. I'm going to save that to play around with at some point. But if we go back out to the main menu, and you can see here there are a lot of things. There's the changelog, which shows absolutely every version that they've been making. And the fact that this is just over the last 5 months. They've gone from version 1.1 all the way up to version 5.2. And all that information is here for you to look at. And if you want to know, at what points do they change auction? Well, you can see here, there's some changes to auctions in version 0.1.2, live auction patterns. And then in 4 and so on, all the way up. If you want to look at, where did they change breeding? Well, they changed breeding a lot, of course. And you can see here these stats that change for everything. So, since the alpha, they have fixed 336 bugs. They've improved 190 features. They've added 86. They have changed the way 61 of them worked. They have removed 15. And they have made 13 notes about other things. So, I quite like this. I think this is a really cool way of sharing this information with people. I like how open they've been with me and how accepting and friendly they've been with me. And like I say, such a small company. And I've tried playing around with some of these. I don't really understand the debug stats and all that sort of thing, but yeah, you can change things. You can even look at any other stable and look at their finances and a couple other things. The cheat console is something interesting that you can set up scenarios with, I believe. Like I say, the localization, the theme, the interface, separate audio bars, whether you're going to be playing full screen or not, and then a bunch of gameplay stuff. I don't mind. I honestly don't mind. I think this is actually going to be quite interesting the way it sets up. So, you've basically got this little screen to begin with, and you can generate just randomly. So say that we're Yale Hendricks, a male, born 7th of November 1934. And I don't know what these affect. I don't know if it's money or if it's anything else. I don't know, but you can customize that later on. So, I don't think it matters. I really don't. But you got skills, and you can roll your skills. We had really good skills coming in. The little annoying not to have those. But I mean, really, it depends what you're looking for. It really depends what you're looking for. So I mean, this is fine, I guess. But yeah, you can do that. You can also just set up your skills and decide kind of what they want to do, and each of them has a little step, and you can pause and see. Some of them, at the moment, don't do anything, like Farriers. That's not really in the game yet. you can just set up. So, like, I'd want high up here. Don't really want to do much there. I'd like to think I'm pretty good at scouting too. Let's put that up really high. And then let's just put those kind of anywhere. And yeah, work with juveniles. And just kind of basic training overall, for example. That's a decent setup. You don't need to dive too deep. And you can randomize a bunch of things here until you can get something that you like. And I don't hate that. I don't hate that. That's kind of like me. There's a couple of things slightly wrong. Okay. I don't mind that. Don't mind that. Yeah, that's fine. Skin color all the way down. I wish there was a hairstyle thing, because there are a bunch of hairstyles in here. I wish that was added. Let's block out as much of the hair as we can with that with that hat style. We're going to be flat racing, but there is harness racing. They are trying to add a mode where you can do both, and they are trying to add more stuff to a very limited harness racing right now. They're also enabling customizable schedules and other modifications you can make to the game, which is awesome. I'm not going to mess too much on all this, but you can see your starting people, years of history, which doesn't work yet. That's a later feature. The number of stables, auction houses, racecourses, horses, etc. So we're just going to stay on Small World. You can see here the custom schedule. That will be something that works better and better over time. We're going to standardize the birthdays, and we're going to select all the horse types. So the Accals, the Quarter Horse, the Arabians, and the Thoroughbreds. You're going to have, I believe, at least one. So yeah, we're just going to set up for all. Absolutely fine. Yeah, we're gonna have 50 million. We'll randomize and then edit the stable name. I don't want to Conjure Wise Ranch. I mean, let's just keep that there. And yeah, we can buy horses from market. We can also just start with horses, which actually helps a lot. I guess funding and races are probably the two, and scouting, that we'll look into, but that we don't really need to do too much of ourselves. So you can see here, it is simulating. And it's going through. Looks like 6 months to set things up. And that's going to bring us into the actual game. And we'll go over what everything looks like at the start. Run through a few things as well along the way. And then, yeah, we'll 100% take a look at what I think's missing and what I would like to see changed. And also, if there's anything you've seen on Steam, on other media platforms, any information about the games, things that you don't think look right, things that don't seem right, things that you think are missing, do let me know. You can let them know as well, but if you do let me know, I will be able to go ahead and forward that as well on to the dev team through Alex, and hopefully just give some feedback. It's up to them whether they want to implement anything or not, whether it's worthwhile or not, but I have been asked for my feedback, and I've got to be open and honest. You know, they give me the game, they've given me pre-alpha access. I can't say, much more than that. They're a small indie team, that is putting together a game which graphically may not look fully polished and up there with some other games. But again, like Minecraft, like Dwarf Fortress, like RimWorld, like Football Manager, Out of the Park Baseball, Franchise Hockey Manager, especially in this sports management sort of world, there are a lot of games that don't look special or polished or shiny. You know, graphics definitely isn't one of the things that's highlighted on them. Even games back in the day like Baldur's Gate and Fallout, the originals, like they were not the best looking games on the market, but the gameplay, the mechanics, the love and dedication the teams put into those games, the depth and the just emergent gameplay and storytelling is amazing. And I do think that's something that people really need to look at and kind of value more than sometimes they do, because yeah, I think a lot of games get overlooked, and this is one I really hope won't, because I absolutely love the level of depth and the care of attention that they have put into this game so far, and look like they're going to continue to put into it. I wish them all the success in the world of this game, not only because it would be a nice game for me to play on the channel, or it would be a fun game for me to play personally, but because I think the community hasn't got a game of this level of complexity, and I think that's going to be really good for a lot of people who I know enjoy other games that I play. I think this is going to suit a lot of you out there, and we're going to kind of dive in and see that, and see the growth of the game over time as well, through early access until the full release too. But yeah, kudos to them, and there doesn't mean too much that I want to highlight that's gone wrong so far. So welcome to Horse Racing Manager, thanks for playing the game. Small development team, 6 people from Finland love horse racing, felt there wasn't a game on the market quite like this one. You don't say. There's good ones, there's definitely good ones, we know on this channel. You know, I do love Stars Orders. I think that's a game that does one or two things really well, and we can mod the game and work around some aspects of the game that I'm not a fan of, which is like the grind and the financial aspect of that game. We can kind of sidestep that, and we can mod our own schedule in and focus on what that game does really, really well. And I kind of like that. And that's kind of how I play that game. But there's a lot that game doesn't even attempt to do. And there's definitely a hole in the market for a game that's willing to attack that realism aspect. And there just isn't anything like this on the market. I fully agree with them. And I hope that they hit their goals and they are able to put out the game that I think this can be. And I feel they envision it to be. So we will see. But yeah, quite a first horse. We've started with horses, but we will be going in and buying horses too. So it shows you how to make a purchase, a little bit of strategy, and again, if you do have access, then any bugs or feature requests or anything, you can report there. You can report here in the bottom corner. You can also just report a bug here. You got this little QR code. Like, there's so many ways to get in contact with them, and they've made themselves very much open. There's a Discord page you can go on and sign up to their Discord and kind of get involved that way. Yeah, and so many cool features that are being implemented, are being upgraded. I don't know about jumps, if that's going to be a part, but custom schedules, that is going to be a thing. So I'm hoping I can make a realistic schedule, or someone can make a realistic schedule, and we can run the Triple Crown and Kentucky Derby and the Grand National and a few other of those races, depending how things go. But I know for the moment it's some harness racing, some flat racing in a fictional setting. So yeah. But yeah, they've got a lot of that. They're adding mod ability into the game in small amounts, like those schedules. And so, yeah, that's absolutely fine. So here's our stable. You can see you can add in a lot of information and key details. And the training you can set up as well with all the people you've got. We don't actually have anybody, so we can't do that. But you can look at also the retired and deceased horses, which is a lot, but that's because we can actually go in and decide what happens to these horses. So there's a lot of information. There's a lovely little bio, but here really is the key things. This is our ability and our potential. It seems to be static. It doesn't seem to change year on year. So yeah, you have a set amount of potential, and then you're trying to grow up to that potential. That's with these kind of stats. You've got a little health bar here as well for different things. Injury proneness, how likely this horse is going to be to get injured. And you've got an experience bar, which it doesn't say really what the experience is all about, but sure. Intelligence, whether a horse can be controlled well, whether it knows what the jockey wants it to do. Temperament, whether it's going to let the jockey do what the jockey wants to do. And yeah, there's a bunch of bits here. You can see the upcoming races and training and stuff as well. You can add people in once we've set that up. The pedigree, depending, who they've been bred from, etc., and the offspring. There isn't anyone here right now. We can change the name. We can also just have a nickname. So instead of Gothic Guinness, we can just be GG. So now when we get emails and stuff about this horse, it won't say Gothic Guinness, it'll say GG. When it goes to the races, it'll be announced as Gothic Guinness, etc. Kind of like Secretariat's nickname and stable name being Big Red. It's known as Big Red, but the official name is Secretariat. You can choose blinkers and buy different colors and patterns for different amounts of money. You can also do that with the halters. There's a bunch of them. Some leg wraps. You can stand the stallion at stud, set your feet and set them up. You can also offer out your mares for breeding for a fee as well. I'm not sure in those cases who gets the foal. I don't know. You can geld, and you can see here significantly reduces the temperament. +5 boost to all skills, but makes them unable to breed. So at least we know what gelding does. We've got like a tangible idea for here. So yeah, that'll make them much better. We can send them to a sanctuary. So basically we decide we can't take care of them anymore. Other people could adopt them. They're still in the game world. It's just they're not with us, and we don't have to sell them and try and get anything that way. Or we can euthanize them. So like I say, there's a lot of stuff in here. We can put them on the market. We can decide how we're going to do some things. They're going to have relationships with different people that interact with them. And they can get end of year rewards. And if you look at the mares, everything's exactly the same. Except, like I say, when we get down to there, we can lease out the mare for breeding. But again, I'm not entirely sure who gets that horse. I don't fully know. But if we look at our stables, potentially, there's not a lot. I would say, realistically, there's not much point in keeping a lot of these horses. And this is part of the scalability issue. We've upped the font size from 14 to 18, and these abilities aren't in line. But you can see that the actual highlighted background is in line with those. And so that's why when you're over here, it looks like it's out of sync. But yeah, that's something as well. The scalability, like they said, they are working on. So there is that. But yeah, a lot of these, I would say, just aren't worth anything to us because they're not that good at all. We do need some staff. You can see here total number of staff, key positions, overall abilities, salary, expenses, historical staff trends. Lists all your staff, staff you can hire, and any open positions. So you can basically, in a later version, jump into being a member at another stable. You can see here, if you look at unemployed people and their role being general, we can just see, well, okay, is there anyone here that's a good scout that's unemployed? Yeah, there's Xantha William. They look like they're a decent scout. They are free and unemployed. So let's go and see then. Scout, negotiate. And you can see we can autofill some demands. They'll tell you how much they want, and they'll give you a percentage chance here. I would say 140. I'd have to go up a lot. Quite a lot. Yeah, okay. So 140. They'd want a little more. And you can min-max it as much as you want, but we're just going to get Xena Glover in. Now, Atkinson, Warner, Lodge probably aren't going to like us very much. But they do have some great stable hands. So I would like then to go and get this young guy David Sutton. And they're not super upset at me yet. So they are going to allow me to go and get this guy as well. 35,000 a year. We'll get him in. That's all fine. Now, if we try to go and get more people, at some level, they would not be happy with us. But I've got my stable hands, and I've got my scout. Now we do need a farrier. Now, this isn't even in the game yet, so, like, it doesn't really even matter. It says that he's at Atkinson, but he's not. It's just the last people we've looked at, so we can negotiate. Autofill. 204. Gonna get him as a farrier. We need a vet. Looks like Tilda Lewis be the best. Dang vet. $248,000. And you see the success bar going down as we're trying to hire people. So we need a head trainer and 2 trainers. Okay. So you look like a decent head trainer. Make sure we're head trainer, not trainer. Autofill. Let's get her set up as a head trainer. And then we're going to try and set up a trainer. And get her set up nicely there. As you can see, we still need 1 more trainer. There isn't anyone really good, so now what do we do? Well, why don't we just go and try and, like, upset someone? And steal their trainer. And try and find someone that we like their training skills here. I was kind of looking for someone with some skills with juvenile that aren't bad elsewhere, but looks like nobody knows how to train a juvenile, so Yvonne Fisher might be the best, but we'd have to pay a lot of money for breach of contract. We'd have to pay less to her than a lot of other people. So I do think that makes the most sense. It's gonna upset people, for sure. But that's fine. I mean, I'm just good doing that and getting ourselves another trainer. So 2 jockeys and an assistant. Now, okay. Who have we got as an assistant? Bunch of people. You wouldn't be bad in training. Intelligence. Intelligence might be kind of okay. Fiery temperament, okay. Gonna hire you as an assistant. Just get you in a little bit cheaper than we would offer normally, and then just 2 jockeys, which We got a 65-year-old jockey who's pretty good. Yeah. Atkinson and Warner Lodge. 2.4 million for the best jockey in the game. Honestly, I'm okay with that. I think that's something well worth buying. And yeah, now they're going to block us because now we've stolen important people from them. Now they're going to start to block us. And that's fine. Honestly, that is fine. Unemployed 48 25-year-old. Or I can get an 18-year-old with 57%. 21-year-old. I think maybe this is what I like. $28. Okay, so we dropped a bunch of money on a pair of jockeys, basically. But we filled out all our stars now, which is really nice. Can also hit the auto hire, but we didn't really want to do that. And yeah, you can see the skill levels of people here. So yeah, Alfaria is pretty poor, but all the Farias are pretty poor, and it's not even implemented in the game. You just kind of need to have one. Everyone else looks really, really good, and they're able to do what they're doing. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with that in general. So that's good. The other thing to do is the featured tab here shows horses that you can buy and also auctions that are coming up. We've got regular auctions that'll be there, and we can register for auction in here. So yeah, it looks like there's a bunch of yearlings with some decent potential, but nothing crazy. We'll have a look at an auction today. I think that's kind of the best thing to do. I'm going to go to this and this. These are also prestigious auctions. We can register our own for auctions. Which I think makes sense to me. Yeah. And again, you can set everybody up to be in or out of auctions and set their prices and stuff. I'm not really going to bother. I'm just basically going to throw as many people in as possible. And clear out the horses that we had. Because I was hoping there may be one that was like just semi-special in there. There just isn't. So we can sell all our horses. That's absolutely fine. The best one of all is Gusto Minier. Nope. Is Obelisk Unicorn, which is a 3-star potential horse. A nice little black horse. You can see looks decent. But yeah, that's not anything we want. There aren't any horses for sale. You can see there are actually horses available though. Couple of young horses. What we can do is go and buy horses as well. So we can look at who are the best horses in the game potentially. It looks like there's a Jamboree Leviathan. We can put in a bid, estimated value of 4 million. We'll offer a touch above what they're actually going to be looking for. And Dodd Marble, again, that's sort of 4 million. A little over their value. You can probably just bid 100% and they would say yes. And then, yeah, let's go for gender. Let's try and get Aria and Jazz. Absolutely fine. Might as well try and get this one. I'm just going to try and buy the really nice horses. So, yeah, we're so much money on those. So much money on those. But that should be worth it. It should be worth it. Because, yeah, we got a ton of money to begin with, because I wanted a lot more money to begin with. So I could buy a bunch of horses. And again, we can set this up in any way we want. 1.5 is not bad. Yeah. And the mares. There aren't any crazily good ones. What I do like is so many of these are super cheap because they're older. But yeah, they're pretty good. So a bunch of them, sadly, that I would think are worth picking up because they're so cheap, are already pregnant. And we want to breed them with our own. And so I'd say I'd then go for Thunder Hippogriff at 770. I don't think that's a bad price. Symbolish Shy at 700. Tumbleweed at 640. And Diamond Bay Zodiac 563. So those are their values. We're going to offer them. We're going to offer them and see, can we get these four? Can we get ourselves in a good place? Can we snap up some of these absolutely fantastic horses? And be able to do something. $800K there as well. Nice. So that's the market. Excuse me. That's the staff. That's kind of everything set up the way you kind of want it to be. And like I say, all these are being sold, and we're buying a lot more horses, and you'll see that, yeah, we're going to lose some money. But that's absolutely fine. So unacceptable loss, Xena Glover. This will not be tolerated. We will not forget this behavior. And we will not deal with you again. So they really like Julia Hopkins. Who is Julia Hopkins? She was the jockey. So yeah, that's probably why. I understand. I don't agree, I don't care, but sure. So, yeah, we can set to the next event that we're geared up with, the next event in the world, the next full birth, the next day, week, month, year, the next 10 years, the next 100 years, which I think is just wild. But next auction is set up. And with W, we just go to the next thing. And that's what I'm going to do in a second. So facilities, we just need to get some stuff set up. So I'm going to buy the breeding facilities, artificial insemination, genetic testing, the feed, the nutrients, the finance, the cost management, the investment banking is 129 million. What? Okay. There's the stables, there's a sauna, there's a paddock, there's a security system, there's a staff office. Let's get some bunch of extra things. Get the training, let's get full training, and let's get a swimming pool. Lovely. So we're almost as done as we can, and we've blown through most of our money. But yeah, without the betting sheet, we can just decide how much money we're setting up, and we can just go ahead and buy everything, and kind of set this up just to be a breeding save and just to be this or that. Like, I like the customizability. And now, as you can see, the way everything is kind of held up here, and you're able to kind of figure out what's going on. You can see here, you know, we've basically got rid of one horse, and then we're trying to sell a bunch of horses, and we're trying to buy in a bunch of horses. That's all kind of cool. And there's all the money we've spent, and where all that's gone on the facilities. And we can do a bunch of different things here. We can give ourselves money. We can give the stable money. Yeah, there's a lot here. We can assign scouts. We might as well just... Let's get 50% scouting. You can see here the medical statement. We don't really need to worry too much about that right now. We've been to the auction. We bought a horse. Or we put bids on our horses anyway. We've got our staff all set up. And then in breeding, we can decide to try and breed our horses. So we can say that, yeah, this 3-star, there isn't that many good horses to breed from. So, okay, but it's so 2-star, for some reason, there's better people to breed from. But yeah, we're likely not to get more than a 3-star from them. Right, you can see here potentially the DNA, because we've got the genetic lab. It doesn't cost us anything, but potentially that will only be a 2.5-star horse. That's kind of how bad things are going to be for us, right? It's just, that's what it is. So if we look here at potential, and yes, oops, so only the mares. So Mini 8 with Tropic Twist or with Gueva, that wouldn't be amazing. Fortissimo with Tropic Twists, I mean, that'll be 3 stars, right? We're getting up to 3 stars there. And Carlo, again, would only be 3 stars. Not amazing. The 3-year-old, we get a 2-star out of, and this 3-year-old who's actually got potential would get poor breeding with all of them. So, yeah. We could spend a bunch of money and we could do a bunch of things, but ultimately, yeah, it doesn't really seem to be too much out there that's worth breeding for these, which is why we're selling them all, which is why we're just getting rid of them. Races, we can book races when we get our good horses in. We'll go ahead with that. We've looked at the stable. Now we've got trainers, we can actually set people up. We're not going to do that right now. That's absolutely fine. And this just gives you a bunch of things to do. So we can go to an auction. We can see here we got 1, 2, 3, 4 horses all in the mix. We can go and look at an auction. We can't bid on our own horses, but we can participate, and we get to hear the auctioneer's voice.
We've got interest at this level, but I need a higher bid for a horse of this quality. Can I get another bid? Yep, we got a new bid. Can I get another bid? Who'll claim the next advance?
There we go.
Yep, we got a new bid. A strong show.
Let's just raise.
Business. Well, a future legend awaits your bid. Yep. New bid on the floor. Once, any takers? Come on, you're out.
And I think we just
Shrewd move.
skip out. It looks like it went for 800,000.
Winner in this bidding war. Here's a big one.
Not bad. Buyout price as well was 900, which means if it hits that level, you can just buy it outright.
Oh, the gem.
This is our horse.
This horse is ready.
I'm not sure how much it's actually worth,
Pedigree. Bring another bid.
but as you see, we cannot bid
Shrewd move.
on our own horse.
Ends with a buyout.
But 800,000 for it as well, and we know it's not a good horse. We know that first horse had some ability and potential. We know our horse didn't.
Yep, that's right.
Still went for a decent amount.
In this bloodline.
An 840.
Old and well bought.
You can see
Oh, look at him standing.
that's another horse gone. And I don't mind this. I think this is a nice way to do auctions. It's a bit interesting. It's a bit fun. We can definitely skip through and ignore auctions and do different things in different ways if it gets too much. But I actually think it's kind of interesting.
Sold it, hammer.
See, it looks like they all went for at least 800.
Get this show on.
Then we skip the rest of the auction and the horse walks through. All done, all nicely. Beautiful. As you can see here, sold for 801, 809, 843, 848. Not bad. So we got that all sorted. Now when we press W, instead of taking us to where we're going next, it's actually just going to take us to our messages. We see that was a 2-year-old auction. We sold 4 horses. We got 3 3-year-olds and 2 4-year-olds left to go. You can see now that they all went. You can press W. And yeah, we bought this one. Yes, we did. 7-year-old. Pin for breeding. And delete. Delete that news. Oh, now you see the ability's actually caught up with the scaling. And nothing else has right now. Kind of interesting, but that's okay. I said we knew it would come. So, yeah. We're selling all of these. We got Diamond Bait, Zodiac's the only one left. Now, if we try and breed them a 3.5 star, well, let's say a really bad horse, we can still get a 2.5 star out of it. We can get then up to a 3.5. And we can kind of test a little bit here. I think Tropic Twigs isn't a bad one. No, it's 76.6% chance. And we can try and make a fall for 10.1k. So we're going to try it on first time. So we should expect the fall at the start of next year. Absolutely fantastic. I think it was booked into a race, and we've just undone that by impregnating it. Now we can go to this auction. It looks like we got Carlo and Fortissimo. We don't want to buy anything else. Don't know who they're breeding with. But I don't think we need to purchase them anyway, so it's the next message. So 707 and 621k. Not a ton of money, but it's okay. And we can go to the auctions. This is the yearling auctions. Again, it didn't seem to be anything crazy there. There's an okay horse just being born that we don't really need to look at. Yeah. We're still trying to buy 3 and we're still... sell 3. We're still trying to get up. So, yeah, we're going to go to number 1. Here's a little bit about the shortcuts that I said about. And there you go. End of season. So we're just going to pay maximum bonus is nothing. And you can see here, there's a bunch of stuff that, since it's the first one, is not great. Symbolist Shy. So that one, they said no to. So I'm going to make a bigger bid. This one, we did get for 643. That's good. So I think if I delete these ones, pin you for breeding, I can delete that. So Mystic Widget. We're going to go up to 1.9. Journey Sprite. Gonna go up to 1.9. We got Ginger Lithograph. Okay, so we went round to the next year. I mean, I wasn't paying attention. Maybe we just naturally finished the last year. Um, doesn't that mean that these horses that were bred from should have been bred? I don't know, but I I don't know. They're on there. Yeah, I okay. So Gusto. I guess yes, they are. Just want to get rid of those. So yeah, we got 3 new falls then. Okay. So it says maximum ability is 2.5, 3, and 3. So the coming years will reveal its potential. Okay, so I guess it does change in that way. Maybe. Okay, that's fine. Uh, yeah, I find that really interesting. But okay, so maybe they'll just all grow into 3.5s, which is kind of what we had. It also should mean though that breeding again. So again, Twix is solid. Fearless is solid. I mean, okay, so Tumbleweed was the one that went with Fearless the first time. So let's breed them with ours. And then we'll breed these two with Fearless. There we go. So then we'll have 3 that are bred. All 3 were bred with Fearless. All 3 would have been bred with Aria. No. That one's a Tropic Twix. Okay. So I just got to keep that in mind then. Make sure all 3 are paired with all 3, basically. That's all this is. That's all I'm trying to do. Okay. Okay. So I look at the horses. They're all set up. They're decent. That's fine. And then Dod Marble, when it goes into the breeding barn in an area breeding together, that should give us a 4-star. That should give us potentially a 4-star. I'm kind of okay with that. I'm kind of okay with that. One thing I was looking at is why I've only got pin for breeding. That's why. Okay. So we can't breed with any game breds there. But if we could, I do think when we offer out our mares, we get paid a fee, which means we shouldn't then get the full. That's what I'm thinking. So trainer stable. Can I take floating screenshots? Okay, I can. I just need to set up the program. Don't know why I'm doing it there. Yes, there's a screenshot being saved. I get it. Okay. So show unemployed. What do we got? Best trainer. Might be okay. 214. She's not amazing, but she's not bad. And that's kind of what we're looking for. Veterinary skill. Okay, fiery temperament, but pretty good veterinary guy. That's autofill. So 234. 226 should be absolutely fine. Person McKnight. Another terrible farrier. The best that we can do. Okay. That kind of threw me for a loop, but yeah, okay. Yeah, they don't want to be something else. I kind of get it. I kind of get it. It does look like almost everything's either a jockey, a vet, or a trainer of some kind. Nobody has super low in everything until we get down to Elspeth. $28. Let's get a good stable hand. No, we can't get a good stable hand. We can get ourselves a little scout. Don't mind that. Autofill. And I guess we're just going to get ourselves a little stable hand. A 37-year-old. Gwen Waters. High Serene. That seems to be good. Supernatural ability to help things. Okay, so yeah, we can't get anyone from you. Atkinson and Warner Lodge. Atkinson Stables. We might be able to. Then why not? Why not? Okay. For the new season, we're all maxed out on people. That's fine. Don't know if I need to do anything with anyone in particular. Horses here. Nope. Nobody to worry about. Horses, potentially. We've got the top 2 horses. And then there's just this monster colt. So let's go ahead and put in a monster bid. Yeah. Let's go ahead and do that. We'll kind of see. That's 38.7. Let's go. Yeah, 50%. So 65% scouting percentage. It's going to cost 20 grand a day, but I get 5 horses scouted every 2 days. I know everything about them in those 2 days. Okay, I don't mind that. That's fine. Absolutely fine. Like I say, we've got our breeders. We've got our 2 main racers. We've got up-and-coming racers to train into monsters. And 2-year-olds who can train and become monsters. And then these 3 zero-age colts, these newborns, their potential should climb up to where their breeding indicator was. Should. Maybe it doesn't. But should. Okay. I'm okay with that. So, yeah, we've kind of, I think, done a lot of things. And yeah, Giovanni Clay, who cares? Who cares? Options, auto toggle. So, auto funding, auto racing, auto scouting. I think that's fine. Uh, Nobody's being trained right now. Okay. Uh, it's a stable hand. Oop. 53. 58, 59. So Zena Davis. Zena. Zena Davis. Kieravada. I think. Zena. I mean, these are not sorted by age either, are they? Okay. That's fine. I can have these like this. Cool. So I want Labyrinth. I want Dodd. I want Apollo. And I want Yodel. And then Davis. Oh my god, I've completely done this wrong. I've completely done this wrong. Let me just. Xena, Dodd, and Prince. My top three right now. Yodel, Zeppelin, Jamboree, my three newborns with Giovanni, and now take care of these three that we're breeding from. And there we go. Okay. So Vada, Yvonne or Astrid? I can't remember who I liked the most. Yvonne's just a cross, right? Astrid with the juveniles. Astrid. Astrid with the juveniles. Yvonne's good everywhere. Vada with the best. And we pick up the trainer there. Everyone on premium. I wish there was also some way of setting these as defaults. Default food, default care. I'm gonna add that to my little list. Default food and care or set all. Drop downs. Yeah, because if we could select on a drop down, just a little set all to click premium, and then everything fills in with premium. I think that's fine. So everyone on balanced, everyone kind of set up, everyone on good food and care. That's all okay. These don't have too much to do here, which is fine. Can I mark it as retired, but still breed from it? That's kind of a question I don't fully know or understand right now. But a genius, above average intelligence, balanced temperament, known for being an advanced manager, and we're really good at training ourselves, actually. So, yeah, good bond with Lagoon Rosie, Yvonne Fisher, Yaya Chase. Adversarial relationship with Simone Hutchinson and Fisher Ramsey. Okay. Okay. Yeah, it's just very interesting to me. Very, very interesting indeed. We got these horses all set up. Okay. Cool. Cool. No, these should be auto-registered, but in case they're not, then Let's do that. So next event is the next race. Let me have a look at auctions. Oh, yearling auction, but there's none in it right now. That's stallion auction. Broodmare, 2-year-old. Yearlings. Yeah, not really interested. Okay. That's fine. You're not great. Gothic Hades isn't bad. This one might not be too bad either. Maybe we'll look at the auction for those. Okay. So, next auction in 3 weeks. Next race date is 2 weeks. None of these do we want. Race registration. Successful. Cool. Okay, so we got a new horse there. We got a new horse there. We got a new horse there. New horse there. New horse there. Cool. We're so far in debt. Mainly because of this one. Yeah, they're offering to buy horses from us below the average evaluated price. So why are they no longer with us? Couldn't find any Okay. Okay, I find that slightly strange. I do find that slightly strange. Jockey skill. No, we don't have enough cash. Okay, well, what can we do about that? Stable money. Or we can set horse skill. I'm not sure how we get horse IDs and everything like that. I didn't see anything popping up in there. I guess. Hold on. If we do stable, do we actually get the IDs? Yes. Okay. Okay. So we can edit the horses if we want to. So you can set up scenarios that way. SQL and just basic DOS syntax is in there. Person skills. Interesting. Uh, okay, well that worked. This money doesn't really matter right now because this isn't a serious game. I'm just gonna hire people. And then we'll try and get back in with the high levels of skills that we can get in. Okay. Okay, everyone's set up. Everyone's set up. I think auto facilities, race, scouting, funding, automatic training. Let's get all those set up. And then let's clear all these ones that have been deleted. Make sure everything's done. Okay. $24 horses. Doesn't seem to be much there that would be fun. Okay. So you got Vasco Harris and Nico Oroso on Jamboree, Leviathan, and Zeppelin Emerald Isle. Okay. I will say that this is one of the places I have had an issue with. So I'm going to save it. Said that I didn't have another save, which is kind of interesting because we did have that other save. So I'm going to save. And then we can see them come out. They basically load in gate. It takes kind of a long time. I think it should be probably faster. Faster race introductions settings. That would be another thing I would recommend because I think it would be cool to have it happen. There we go. So I'm making a couple of notes so I can give some feedback. So yeah, faster race introductions, we can click a setting to have them sort of go quickly. So you still see them, but like they load in quite quickly. Or maybe only the ability to see yours. Because let's face it, that's all we want. We can't click through until we get to ours. But yeah, it's just a little bit more annoying. So let's see where they're at. So yeah, we're kind of in the mix a way back. There we go. We're coming up a little bit. We're a long way back. You can see we do come through towards the end. So 6th and 8th in that. Not our day trouble in running back to the drawing board. Not much went right. Traveled beautifully, had to weave. Finished with a strong rally, outstanding performance from them. So Jamboree should have done a lot better, and Emerald Isle nailed it, but ended up worse. Okay. Interesting. That's kind of what a race looks like. and it didn't actually crash there. You look at Dodd Marble, and again, should be probably the best horse in this field. Does that mean anything? Not really. For some reason, it won't let me go across there. But yes, we're in the middle of the screen. And you can see there that speed and stamina. So a little low on stamina. When you hit your issue on the stamina, you will see the jockey let up. And that will kind of put you in a good place. So just to recover and have everything set up. You'll see in a moment we'll probably bottom out on stamina. So we're just gonna keep going on at that level. So yeah, like ability of the horse is really good, but we probably need to train the horse to be a lot faster in certain ways. Currently running in 6th, a long way back. Not probably a good run. Yeah. Pretty poor. And Labyrinth. Oh, yeah. Again, should be a good horse in this field. We're going to be in the mix. Our stamina is dead. And so our speed's going to go down. So we get that stamina back. But we're so far back. Absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible. But yeah, I'm not really sure, like, how to do that rather than take control. Maybe that's kind of what we need to do. I'm not fully sure. But a pretty bad day's racing. So even though, and I think this is the interesting thing for me, even though we got Dodd Marble at 3-star, Labyrinth Area at 3-star as well, and a couple of decent 3-year-olds. Like we should be amongst the favourites our for our ages and for those races. And we weren't. We were quite a way off. And I find that really interesting. The Symbolist should be in breeding. And yeah, we've got so many horses. I think seeing what these do is kind of going to be interesting. So Symbolist shy. 3.5 with a lot of strength and stamina. I just think this is the one that seems to be the one that's the most interesting. 100%. The most interesting. Market, gender, mare. Okay, I'm not sure why that was so crazy there. Okay, 3. 3. 20. That's fine. People don't like me. Absolutely fine. At least I got all my staff set up. Absolutely fine. Why are these being listed? Why are horses being listed when I've not turned that on? Does seem to be putting on a 2-year-old and a bunch of younger horses. Now, am I over my stable limit? Is that what this is? Because it's not telling me that. But it might be that. The stables. The fact that we can't hold it down. We've got to click every time as well. That kind of sucks. I mean, it's fine. Extra stables. Breeding facility. This stables, okay. So I think that's about that. Maybe that'll be good. Maybe that'll be fine. I'm not entirely sure. A 7-year-old stallion, 3.5 star. Not really what we're looking for. Doesn't look like there's any other 4 stars. So let's go to the race. Lithograss. 5th. In the money. Couldn't get into the race. Didn't really get anything going. Installing horse GPS tracks. If you haven't noticed, there's some quirky stuff as well. Okay. Basically, they sucked. Workplace conflict. So Vivian and Shirley are having some issues. The assistant manager and Shirley O'Connor, who's a new old ass jockey. I think they were 66 or something, which is old for a jockey. Okay, so we'll just bring in an executive consultant for both of these. And maybe it'll go away. Skip all races. And second place for Zeppelin. Okay. Jamboree in 8th, but Zeppelin in 2nd. And then I guess we had just the only 3 runners there. That's kind of interesting. Okay. Um, sure. So it does have an estimated time to skip. Stay behind Kendra Free. Why is it sacking people when I'm not asking it to sack people? These are permanent salary positions. They're not. They're not supposed to come towards the end of their date. He was only hired for a month or whatever. I guess. Yeah, we might be over on stable hands or whatever, but they're sacking people that I don't want them to sack. I don't understand why when that auto sack as well isn't even on. We need a jockey. Oh, we hired a jockey. We actually managed to hire one. Okay. But they're not even remotely good as a jockey. That's a little annoying. That's very annoying. Okay. Yeah, I can definitely see some hits and miss with this, but if I sort by the age, like I say, we've got a bunch of horses that are pregnante. So, Grounded Christopher is a 2.5 star potential. Crimson's a 4, the other 2 are 3. And even better than that, I'm just going to copy some floating screenshots, which you can't see, but I can, onto my other monitor. Because what I actually want to do here is... See, I thought next year would go to the next year and not like a year in the future. So I'm also wondering... Yeah, I can't select the date from there. Okay. So yeah. So 410. In my mind then, should become 5-1, but we actually go through it. 10th place, 3rd place, match Xanthe. She'll get a new 6-2nd, 30th. That's not too bad. Yeah, I would have thought it would have gone to the first of the month and not just around. 4th place. Looks like rares are kind of... Yeah, I had to pause because it was simulating, and it was like, well, we got race results. Are they all race results? I don't know. There's a bunch of emails. Let me go check. I went and checked, and most of them were, but this came up. Yeah, Central Bank of Nigeria, 1 billion, which is nuts. So we'll send 8.3 million. We get 1 billion, which we can keep. No, this is a scam. Of course, it's a scam. But we don't really care about the money. Yeah, it's like we should maybe report it as spam, which would be fun. We can just ignore it, which is interesting. Or I can just send 7 million. Oh no, it was a scam. Who could have seen it coming? Yeah, that's absolutely fine. Absolutely fine though. I found that just hilarious to see pop up and just like I wonder what's gonna happen. I don't know if there's even like a remote chance it isn't, or if there's benefits you get, like you know, for reporting the scam, or I don't know. But I just thought it was fun. And hey, towards the end of the season, Confucius Jazz does pick up a little victory, which is kind of nice in an actual field of horses. Looks like speed and stamina are pretty good. Acceleration and strength, not great. Very impulsive horse. Very impulsive horse. So yeah, let's go day by day. Quickly looking in the stables. I was hoping something might have changed, but nope. There are auctions. Let's have a look at the market. Little filly. And I think we can go to some end of year auctions. It doesn't look like much there. It doesn't look like much there. Huh. Damn doesn't look like much. I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no. Okay, next day. This should take us through then to the year end. We're gonna give a big bonus of absolutely nothing. Top stable. It's a Cameron Group. And they also have the head trainer, Samson Vance. And then yeah, who are you with? You're with the Cameron Group, of course. Nice. Nice. Tabitha's with Oliver Paddock, so the best manager is fine. Then Cameron's kind of got everything, and yeah, some solid horses. And then there we go. We've got newborn foals. So I'm just gonna go down and clear all the emails. Princess Bolt, 3-star. Princess Boat, Princess Boat, Princess Boat, Princess Boat. Are they all going to be named Princess Boat? Maybe. That would be interesting. Scherzo Renaissance is a 4-star. That one we like. We like both the Scherzo. Okay. So, I think if we look at home, and we look here, this makes more sense. Yeah, Respectful Crimson is still a 4-star. Grounded Crispa is still a 2.5-star. So it does look like we are locked in to those stats. We are just locked into those stats. And so we can just get rid of a bunch of horses. Superbolt, why not? Change name. Because we can't have them having the exact same names. Panto Renaissance. There we go. That's at least something slightly different. All these are the same. Sweet. So Princess Bolt. Change it to Changes Dangerous. Because I don't care right now. Too bad. I'm bothered. There we go. Sweet. So everyone's got a different name. I do think this is the one that's kind of in the right place, though. Okay. Let me just go all the way to the end. So 3-star. Put you on market. 3-star. Put you on market. Crown Christopher. Put on market. Ranier Legato. Put on market. Rosewood Khan. Put on market. Sculptor Oliver is already on market. Superbolt's already on market. And Unbothered put on market. I think that should be it. Cool. Okay. Next day. Again, I think if we just clear all these. And delete all that. All right, cleared all the news up. These are all showing up. That's fine. Cool. Cool. And yeah, everybody now has been sold. There isn't at least 3.5 stars. And that gives me the top 5 who are all 4-star potentials. Absolutely fine. I'm absolutely fine with that. That's good. Oh my god. The estimate The estimated value in this horse is mad. Absolutely mind blowing. Average to above average intelligence, tranquil to easygoing temperament. They're not particularly good right now. But he's a tiny tot. A little breezy physique. His dam is Diamond Bay Zodiac. His sire is Guevara Fearless. An Anglo-Arabian colt. He's got a bay splash. And he is just worth an absolute fortune. I've not seen horses go for that much. I've seen like the 4 millions and stuff, but like, yeah, even some of these, like Respectful Crimson, we bought for 5.9, which is what his lowest estimation is. We could sell for 7.4. Yeah. Yeah. Like, what is elite and what is premium? What's kind of the difference there? I'm not entirely sure. Um, I've got to say that's kind of surprised me. That's kind of surprised me a little bit. 300. Look at that. Again, just the speed acceleration, the low stamina. Boy, could that be interesting. Boy, could that be interesting. Again, no stamina, but am I just going to try and dream a Duke these all because they don't have stamina, but by God, they've got everything else I might want. Maybe, maybe I am. Damn. Yeah. That's really interesting. Exceptional intelligence, balanced temperature, just no stamina, ton of other stats. Like, why wouldn't I just go buy him? Just for the sake of it. Like, why wouldn't I just. Yeah. Um, like, mind blown to a certain degree. mind blown to a certain degree. All those have been bred with. See, Dot looks like she could be something. Labyrinth, oh, not as much. Vicious Jazz got stamina and speed. Doesn't really have a great set of skills elsewhere, but that's not bad. That's not bad. Dodd Marble definitely could be something really interesting. A little filly, a little colt. Horse finder. I wonder if I can choose this stable. No. I can't. Okay. I was hoping I could, because if I could, then, that would eliminate my own horses. So gender, mare, age is between 6 and 12. And then I think go ahead and try and buy those two. Couple of days down the road, maybe. I just bought this one. It wasn't pregnant. It shows up pregnant. I see what it is, but Dreamer Duke is now a horse. Not even as much money as maybe I would have thought, to be honest with you, but okay. Lacks speed, but got stamina. I wonder if we can do something with that along the way. There's definitely something we can do with that along the way. Like, he's got a lot of stamina. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I do feel like if we're playing a money means nothing and just kind of like, let's have fun and just interesting, then let's just have fun and do something crazy. We need a jockey. We do need a jockey. 77-year-old jockey. Oh my god. I mean, maybe more realistic ages for jobs. No 70-year-old jockeys. That could be something to look on to. 52, sure. I mean, go and get ourselves world-class jockeys. Let's go ahead and do that. Sweet. Okay. Does intelligence transfer to anything? A little bit of scouting and training, maybe, but not really. Not really. Okay. Youngest people, there's a couple here who are solid. Little jockeys, but not really great at much else. There is a good trainer. Not a bad vet. Not a bad scout. I mean, if they're unemployed, why are they showing mine as well? Not really sure. Maybe I just signed them. So just great leadership. Theodosia. Okay, nice. Don't really care about my recruitment tactics. Yeah, that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. Not gonna lie. It's kind of cool. Now, we got really good horses, but none of them seem to be in a good place as for races. You can see the next full berth. So we can do that and get to the start of the next year, I guess. There's also a part of me that just wants to see how long it's going to tell me it's going to take. So we got 6th, 12th, and 13th there. 4th, 8th, and 10th there. 3rd, 10th, and 13th. We got 4th place. We got 7th place. And we gained 13-6 for Dreamer Duke being bred from. Okay. Yeah, I don't mind them breeding from my horses either, though. That's okay. That's okay. So you're able to be bred from. Oh wait, stand stallion. Yeah, so you are standing a stallion. You're standing a stallion. You're standing a stallion. Even if I can't breed from them, they're all at least 5. We'll have to update their fees, and we'll just let them all breed because they've all got good traits. And that just puts even more horses out there that are going to be good. I think that works for me. I really like Dodge Marble. I really like Dodge Marble. I think what I really like about Dodge Marble, though, is how she's gonna work up with some of these. Look at this. Gotta be Dreamer Duke. It's gotta be Dreamer Duke right now. Yeah. Yeah. Market, horse finder. Set down to the first big 5 or 6 horses, and we've got all the first 5. Absolutely fine. Now, career earnings. You can see these horses actually got more career earnings. They're not great horses. The best horses in the game right now are this bunch, and most of those are ours. And potentially, again, we have some of the absolute best.